Hello friends, welcome back to Saujanya's English class. And in today's class, we are going to learn about conjunctive adverb, an adverb that acts like a conjunction. Let us learn more about it. Let's get started. So this is our topic of the day, conjunctive adverb. Conjunctive means join together. So here, conjunctive adverb is an adverb which acts as a conjunction. What is the purpose of a conjunction in a sentence? To join either words, phrases or clauses. Okay. And conjunctive adverb adds two independent clauses in a sentence. So you see them in compound sentences or a compound sentence divided into two simple sentences. The same thought is carried forward to another clause as well or another sentence as well. Okay. Conjunctive adverb connects two independent clauses. Okay. Each clause should have a subject and a finite verb. Okay. That is like compound sentences. Miss Julie speaks 5 languages. In addition, she writes books. Okay. So if you take this sentence, this independent clause has subject Miss Julie. Okay. And a finite verb speaks. Okay. And even this clause as well has a subject and a finite verb. Okay. Both these are independent clauses joined together by a conjunctive adverb. Is it clear to everyone? So a conjunctive adverb connects two independent clauses. Punctuation rules to use conjunctive adverb. There are some strict punctuation rules to use conjunctive adverbs in sentence. Let us see what they are. Use a semicolon or a full stop after the first independent clause, followed by a conjunctive adverb, followed by a comma, followed by another independent clause. Look at the example. Anne Frank kept on talking in the class. Therefore, Mr. Keesing punished her. So what happened here? Anne Frank kept on talking in the class. Our first clause ends here. Okay. It is followed by a semicolon, followed by a conjunctive adverb therefore. It is followed by a comma. It is followed by another independent clause. Anne Frank is the subject here and talking is the finite verb, whereas this particular clause, Mr. Keesing is the subject, punished is the finite verb. Okay. So both these are independent clauses. This particular sentence is a compound sentence. Okay. How we have used it? The first independent clause followed by a semicolon, followed by a conjunctive adverb, followed by a comma, followed by another independent clause. Whenever we use conjunctive adverb in a sentence, these are the punctuation rules we need to follow. Okay. Now let us see some of the types of conjunctive adverbs. If you remember adverb, how many functions does it have? Adverb phrases, adverb clauses and all. Exactly like that, even conjunctive adverbs also. The role of conjunctive adverb in a sentence is to show different types of relationships. Let us see what they are. Let us learn about some of them. Conjunctive adverbs of addition. These are the conjunctive adverbs of addition. Moreover, furthermore, also, in addition, besides, finally, again. Okay, some of the conjunctive adverbs of addition. Example, drunken drive is dangerous. Moreover, it's illegal. Okay, so just to reinforce that punctuation rules, let me emphasize on this. Drunken drive is dangerous. Okay, so drunken drive, entire thing is subject over here. Is the finite verb. Okay, and here it is the subject and is the finite verb. It is a contracted form. It is illegal. Okay, we mean to say. So both these clauses have a subject and a finite verb. Okay, joined by a conjunctive adverb. First independent clause followed by a semicolon, followed by a conjunctive adverb and followed by a comma and then followed by another independent clause in a sentence. Okay. It rained heavily. Also, some trees were uprooted. Okay. If you look at this sentence, this also is a compound sentence. Okay. Joined together by a conjunctive adverb. It is the subject rained is the finite verb, and it is joined. After the first independent clause, we have used a semicolon, then we have used a conjunctive adverb also, then we have used a comma, and then comes second independent clause. Okay, so here some trees is the subject and were is the finite verb. Clear, everyone? Then another type, conjunctive adverbs of comparison. Likewise and similarly. We don't have many. These two are the most commonly used conjunctive adverbs of comparison. Example, I love my daughter. Likewise, I love my son. See here, you see two simple sentences joined by a conjunctive adverb. I, subject, love, finite verb. Okay, this is one independent clause. Okay, written as a simple sentence followed by a full stop, and then comes our conjunctive adverb likewise followed by a comma, and then another independent clause or a simple sentence. Okay, I is the subject, love is finite verb. He is ill-mannered. Similarly, his brother is rude. So here it is a compound sentence again. He is the subject, is the finite verb. Okay, after this first clause we have added a semicolon, and then comes our conjunctive adverb similarly, and then comes a comma, another independent clause. Okay, his brother, this is the subject, is the finite verb. Okay, so likewise and similarly, in the same sense we mean to say. Okay, and then conjunctive adverbs of contrast. What is contrast? Opposing ideas. Okay, rather, in spite of, instead, however, etc. These are the conjunctive adverbs of contrast. Mostly used ones I have given here. Look at the example. I wanted to bake a cake. However, friends wanted muffins. So here you can see another compound sentence. It has subject I wanted, finite verb. Okay, followed by this independent clause. First independent clause is followed by a semicolon, followed by a conjunctive adverb, however, followed by a comma, and then comes another independent clause. Okay, so friends is the subject here and wanted, okay, is the finite verb. She didn't bring her lunch today. Instead, she ordered food from a nearby restaurant. Okay, so here you can see one more compound sentence. She, okay, subject, didn't bring, finite verb, and this entire thing, she didn't bring her lunch today. Okay, this is the first independent clause followed by a semicolon, conjunctive adverb instead, and then there is a comma, and then comes another independent clause. She is the subject here, ordered, that is the finite verb. Instead, in the sense, in the place of, okay, instead of bringing her lunch, she ordered food from the restaurant. And then conjunctive adverbs of concession. Concession in the sense even then. We have this provision, even then we couldn't do that. That tone, okay, is displayed with the help of concessive adverbs. Let us see. Of course, still, nevertheless. These are the mostly used adverbs of, conjunctive adverbs of concession. Example, he studied very hard. Nevertheless, he failed the test. So, after this first independent clause, semicolon, conjunctive adverb nevertheless, comma, and then comes another independent clause. What does it mean? He studied very hard. Nevertheless, he failed the test. What does it mean? Though one thing is provided, that is studying hard is already done. Even then, he failed the test. That is what we mean to say. Nevertheless means even then. Even one thing is fulfilled, another thing was not fulfilled. That is what concession means. She loves roses. Of course, tulips are not a bad choice. So here also, though we mean to say, she loves roses. Though tulips are not a bad choice. That is what we mean to say. And then comes conjunctive adverbs of emphasis. What is meant by emphasis? Emphasizing something is saying something strongly. Indeed, certainly, further are the most commonly used conjunctive adverbs of emphasis. Example, she doesn't like me. Proposing to her is a bad idea indeed. So here it is not placed after the first independent clause if you see. And this is a compound sentence divided into two simple sentences. She doesn't like me, one simple sentence followed by a full stop. And then proposing to her is a bad idea. So this is another clause actually, okay, which is made into a simple sentence. So something is a bad idea. In that sense, proposing to her, entire thing becomes subject over here, okay, and is becomes finite verb. And indeed is placed at the end of the sentence. There is no hard and fast rule that we need to place the conjunctive adverb immediately after the first clause itself. There is no hard and fast rule for that. Especially conjunctive adverbs of emphasis, they don't follow this rule as much. But even then, it doesn't give any wrong implications. It is okay. So here, you might have seen the punctuation changes over here. After the second independent clause, we have used a comma, not a semicolon. And then we have used our conjunctive adverb indeed. And then there is a full stop. I bought him a Rolex. He will love it. Certainly. Certainly in the sense you are giving emphasis. Indeed, certainly. In the sense you are giving emphasis on the idea conveyed over here. I bought him a Rolex. Okay, this is a simple sentence followed by a full stop. Okay. And then he will love it. Another simple sentence followed by a comma. And then comes our conjunctive adverb certainly, which is followed by a full stop because it is the end of the sentence. So here I bought him a Rolex. He will love it certainly. Love it certainly in the sense you are sure. You are sure that he will definitely love it. That is what is certainly. We are emphasizing on the things. Then conjunctive adverbs of illustration. What is illustration, dears? Yes, giving examples. Okay, let us see. For example, for instance, namely, these are the most commonly used conjunctive adverbs of illustration. Example, I like many things about her. For example, her simplicity. So for example, in the sense you are naming some. I like many things about her. This is our first independent clause followed by semicolon. Then comes our conjunctive adverb. For example, followed by a comma. And then see here, this is a phrase. If you observe, it doesn't fulfill the requirements of a clause. It is a phrase in its own and it conveys the meaning. If you look at this, her simplicity is related to this particular clause. I like many things about her. For example, her simplicity. Okay, though it is not a clause, it is a phrase which conveys the complete meaning. Conjunctive adverbs can even add a clause with a phrase, a meaningful phrase. There are many amphibians, namely frogs, turtles, crocodiles, etc. So here you are giving examples. There are many amphibians, animals that can live both on land and in water. After this clause, you have placed a semicolon. Then comes our conjunctive adverb namely, followed by a comma, and then comes our list over here. Frogs, turtles, crocodiles. It happens with only conjunctive adverbs of illustration. So after you illustrate something, after you start your example, it is not followed by another clause. Either it is followed by phrase or a list of nouns. So there are many amphibians. There are number of amphibians. Namely, okay, if you start to name them, what are they? Some of them, frogs, turtles, crocodiles, etc. Do you understand the difference between other conjunctive adverbs and this illustration? And then conjunctive adverbs of cause and effect. What is meant by cause and effect? It happened because of this. This is the effect of this particular action. Whenever we try to explain such a kind of relationship, we use conjunctive adverbs of cause and effect. Therefore, hence, consequently, thus. These are the most commonly used conjunctive adverbs of cause and effect. Example, she kept on putting her effort throughout the year. Consequently, she topped the university. So here, she kept on putting her efforts throughout the year. This is our first independent clause. What does it mean? She kept on putting her efforts throughout the year. What does it mean? In simple English, it means to say that throughout the year she was working, she was studying very hard. Followed by a semicolon, then comes our conjunctive adverb of cause and effect. Consequently, we mean to say as a result. Because of that, what happened? She topped the university. She stood first in the university in particular exams. So here, after the first independent clause, we have placed a semicolon. Then is our conjunctive adverb consequently, followed by a comma. And then comes the second independent clause. He was being mischievous. Hence, the teacher sent him out of the class. He was behaving in a naughty manner in the class. Because of that, what happened? The teacher sent him out of the class. This happened because of this particular thing. That is what is cause and effect. Okay. So, he was being mischievous is our first independent clause, followed by a semicolon. Then comes our conjunctive adverb hence, followed by a comma, and then another independent clause. So with this, we have come to the end of this lesson. Let us have a look at the simple quiz. Fill in the blanks with the most appropriate conjunctive adverb. Arijit Singh is a popular singer. He is so humble. He sang many chart busters. Chart busters in the sense popular songs. Ashiki 2 is my favorite. He worked very hard. He became a renowned singer. He received many accolades. Praise, appreciation, accolades in a sense. They can't justify his worth. He is the best singer in Bollywood. Amit Trivedi is the best music director. If you see the first blank, first, second, third, and fifth one, there is a semicolon, a blank for conjunctive adverb followed by a comma. And here in fourth sentence, I have given two simple sentences. And at the end of the second simple sentence, I have given a comma, a blank for conjunctive adverb, and then a full stop. So wish you all the best, dears. So friends, that is about our conjunctive adverb. See, why can't we use adverbs? Why are we supposed to use conjunctive adverbs? There are no certain rules as such, but as adverbs do, even conjunctive adverbs also show some relationships in the sentence. Hope you might have understood the lesson. Thank you so much for being with me. Meet you soon with another interesting video. Bye for now, guys.